How to write a resume to teach abroad that will actually get you an interview when you have no experience. Hi, my name is Leah. Welcome to my channel. If you are interested in what life looks like living and working abroad, then this channel is for you. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips that will land you an interview even if you have no experience. I'm going to show you how I updated my resume, how even if you're not a teacher, you actually probably have teaching experience, and how to word your resume for key components that recruiters and employers are looking for. First tip, take a look at your current resume and make note of what experience that you do have that is actually relevant to teaching. For the sake of this video, the job that I'm going to use is, let's say that you are a cashier. As a cashier, if you are responsible for cashing out your drawer, that gives you experience with math skills. Maybe you have a lot of experience with difficult customers. This can actually translate to problem solving. These are all strengths that employers could be looking for relevant to teaching. You also want to make note or strike out those things that are not relevant to teaching ESL. Literally being a cashier has no relevance to teaching ESL, but some points of your job description do. Parts of your resume that don't have to do with ESL include things like placing food orders or bagging food. Reformat your resume. So keep this in mind. In my particular country in Taiwan, they have a shortage of ESL teachers. Recruiters are getting hundreds of resumes, if not thousands of resumes a day. They have deadlines that they have to meet, and it's often for more than one client. They're not going to take a lot of time to read your resume in detail. My first suggestion would be keep your resume to 1 page. They shouldn't have to go through 2 or 3 pages to see if you meet the criteria that they've advertised in their job description. You want to make sure that your resume is easy to read and highlighting the qualifications that your employer is looking for. Not everyone who is reading your resume is a native English speaker, so make sure that you keep your vocabulary simple. If you've even started to begin your search for an ESL job in Asia, you will see that one of the things that most employers will ask for is a picture, because unfortunately, looks do matter. I have a love-hate relationship with this requirement. First started off with not putting my picture on my resume. I had job interviews where people actually liked what they saw on paper, but then when I did the video call, all of a sudden the position is no longer available, or they flat out just tell you, no, we're looking for a white teacher. And who wants to work for a company that judges you on your skin color first as opposed to your experience, your enthusiasm, and what you have to offer? And the rumor is that they are cracking down on these discriminatory practices, but I have yet to see anything being done, at least for the 6 years that I've been abroad. Having a picture that shows like a low neckline or skin on the arm, sleeveless shirts can actually be offensive in some countries. Your introduction, your teaching philosophy, that little bio that we put at the top of our resume, it should really be short and it should be concise. It does not include your hobbies. It does not include that you love to travel and that you love to cook, your inspirations for life. No one cares about those things when they're looking for an ESL teacher. In the actual body of your resume, of course, if you have previous teaching experience, you're just gonna go ahead and list the dates, the relevant information that the employer is looking for, and you can be on your way. But what happens if you actually have no teaching experience? I am willing to bet that every one of you has some kind of experience working with children. For example, have you ever been a babysitter or a nanny? Have you ever done volunteer work where you interact with children? Have you ever read books at a library to children? Have you ever been a tutor? These are all qualified examples of having experience working with children. With all of these examples, you are mentoring and fostering a relationship. What will that look like to list those experiences on your resume when it actually isn't ESL teaching? This is actually my tip number 5. You're going to need to format your resume for the position that you want to apply for. Have a look at some websites that are advertising for ESL positions. A lot of the times recruiters or schools that are looking for people to teach kindergartners or young learners are looking for someone who is energetic, someone who has a lot of patience, someone who is innovative. You want to make sure that those key words that the employer is looking for is also listed in your resume. Let's look at a format that a typical recruiter or an employer might be interested in. To the left, I'm going to list things that I know that recruiters are looking for right off the bat. My name, my picture, my contact information. Make sure that you include your country code with your phone number on your resume, my email address, and my Skype ID. Because it is all listed in one area, this allows an employer to fast track resumes to see if they want to further read your resume. A lot of recruiters will add your video contact information before they even respond to your email. So if you receive an invite from a name that you don't recognize, you could always look up that name to see if that person is coming from a recruiter agency or if it's spam. If you don't have any classroom experience, just put the number of years with the experience that you've had with children in certain age groups. Any licenses that I have that I know that the ad is asking for will be listed here. This will include my substitute license, and if you have a TOEFL certification, this is also a good place to list it. My last two sections right here are for hard skills and soft skills. Any hard skills that you possess that you think will contribute to an ESL environment should go here. Some really good examples of soft skills include teamwork, problem solving, and creativity. For each of these categories, you want to list 2 or 3 things that stand out about you. Your introduction should go here. Tailor your introduction to what the job ad is looking for. Most recruiters and employers want to know that you have at least a bachelor's degree and that you have a certified TOEFL course. You want to make sure that that's listed up here first so that they can see that you are at least meeting the minimum requirements of what they need legally to have you come into their country. Change this from job history to experience. Under this, you're going to put what positions you've held that actually qualify you for this job. List your first position. Make sure that you include age groups that your employer might be looking for, and make sure that you include any team efforts, especially if you're working in Asia. They really want to know that you have great problem-solving skills, that you are willing to communicate, and that you're willing to take constructive criticism. Any accomplishments that you have held in roles of working with children can also be listed here as well. Usually what happens next is you will start receiving responses from recruiters. You might have a small exchange, and then they'll ask if you're available for an interview. How can you guarantee that you will have a successful interview that makes an impact on an employer or a recruiter? You should watch this video.